So with trying to soften soft tissues or find that floating or balance point, whether it's with soft tissues more, generally speaking, when you shorten a soft tissue, it should get softer. But depending on how you do it, with respect to speed, it will be a problem. So if I was to look at the bicep, right, I've got my hand on the bicep. Now, let's just say we're trying to go direct. It would be more like this, right? That's what direct's going to look like. So there's some tension built into it. There's some firmness. I need to keep the muscle still and move the bone in relation to it. If I'm trying to soften it up or find the way to make it softer, it's going to look more like this. So let's just say, so when I was going direct, I did come this way, right? Now, if I'm going to soften it up, if I go this way, it doesn't soften up. You agree?
Yeah.
It's very minor. That's softer, right? Just positionally. So I've already got them biased into a softened position. If I do this, is this going to soften it up? Is this going to soften it up? No, right? So, hold on. My hand got too firm. It's clearly exciting. My hand got firm. So this ends up being quieter. But you see how I start movements? Much smoother, right? None of this. Starts and stops. So this is a small movement. It's too fast, right? So you've got to search very, very slowly, and you'll start to get to those softening points. It can't be, you don't squish it. If you're trying to go indirect, your monitoring hand very likely can't be particularly firm. There can be some firmness, but it should be reasonable. Now let's just say I go to the elbow to try to float the elbow, right? Now, based on the size of my hand and the size of his elbow, I can't get all the way around, but I can get a lot, right? So interesting, there's a lot of elbows. You're going to start here. You're going to be closer to here. His elbow, there's firmness in this elbow, right? Once I get to about here, it just generally starts to soften up, right? Mm-hmm. So the search is more important than the move. I can tell you reasonable starting points. So there, yeah, right? So as much as I can touch, get as much as you can touch. As far as palpation, the more you're in contact with, contact is control, the more you can sense from it. But the smaller movements. So as I was doing this, it was starting to get tighter. And then this little change, that softens it back up, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to keep something soft or a joint or a region soft in order to take sensory information off of it, you often have to do this little dance of following. See, he just jumped. I have no idea why he jumped. Maybe I said something that offended him. Probably not, right?
I think that's my wrist.
It might be.
Yeah.
And this is why you have to be careful. Yeah, because the amount of pressure, so I get really focused, and the amount of pressure that I put onto his wrist might piss him off, right? It's why you've got to, now if I do this, let's just say, that ends up feeling a little nicer to you, but I lose control. So I don't lose control, I lose minor motions. I lose minor motions because now I can't do it with my hand. I have to do it with my body, so I lose some minor motions. Now, remember, when we started and the elbow started to float and go soft, it was way more extended. Now, to dance and follow, he's more flexed. It's these tiny, tiny things. So I can show you what it looks like, but the experience is in your hands, right? So you got to pay attention. And you got to generally keep a soft hand and do these tiny little annoying motions. No heavy acceleration, no heavy deceleration, so no quick changes of directions. The same does apply to direct. You can just be firmer with direct, okay? But all of what I'm saying seems about right based on what you experience when I say it. Okay, sweet. So I'm not lying. Yay.